Hi darlings, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. And today I have a Bible journaling process for you. And I am journaling day 7 in the famous last words. So I know some of you have already received the new kit and everybody's moving on to fear of the Lord, but I want to soak up all the goodness that God has to speak to me in famous last words. And there were some other journaling entries that I had not gotten to journaling in my Bible. And I just think it's important for me to be present at the moment. So I am journaling in day 7, which has to do with Goliath. And I will be journaling in my new Bible, which is this Crossway leaf. And I have an unboxing of this Bible and I will link that below. But I will be journaling here, and I just pulled this card because I want to journal about God's faithfulness and about remembering God's faithfulness. So I will be doing that here in this Bible, and I am going to be doing a little bit of journaling and bringing you along. So let me put you on fast forward and let's see how this page turns out. Okay, so starting off, I knew I wanted to use this faithful card, but I knew I was going to just add that in because I didn't want to cover any of the text. I'm trying to stay within the 2-inch margins of this Bible. So I'm kind of laying out what I want to do, and here I kind of got an idea. So I want to use this tab that's part of the die cuts that came with the kit, but I wanted to add some colors to the border of it. That way it would stand and pop off the page, since it's kind of the same color as the 2-inch margin. So here you see me kind of fussing, looking to see if another tag will work, but I end up going with that beige tag and adding color to it. I am going to be using Distress Oxide in the color Pine Needles, and I'm just scraping the sides of it along the side of this ink pad to go ahead and add color to it. Some of it will smear onto the actual tag, and I actually don't mind that at all because there's a vintagey feel to this. I do want imperfection, so I wasn't going for perfection. And I'm just going to heat set that Distress ink because I do not want it to smear all over my page. I cut up the die cut into 2 pieces because I wanted some coming off of the top and the bottom. That's just a way to stretch your die cuts. I've done it 1,000 times on this channel. And now I'm going to write a prayer based off of what God spoke to me in my heart about this devotional on day 7. So on day 7, we are looking at the last words of Goliath, and I love that Judy starts off real strong with a punch, saying prideful self-confidence is a dangerous thing, and Goliath was entirely focused on his own abilities. Talks about how Goliath was very prideful, and he was like, "Are you guys going to come against me with sticks?" Because David only had stones and a sling. But it also talks about how Goliath mocked God while David trusted God. And I love David's confidence and his courage in this story with David and Goliath. And it ultimately taught me that when we are humble and we have dependence on God, God shows up in a big way. And so another thing that I wanted to really document here is that when we remember God's past faithfulness in our lives, we gain that courage and that confidence to stand strong because we know who our God is. And I don't know about you, but when I'm going through a tough situation or a tough season, just reminding myself of who God is and the character of God, it really helps me put everything into perspective and stand strong in my faith, even though I may not know what's going on. So here you saw me add a label at the top. I'm going to add the date there or the day of this devotional. And then I'm just going to add these florals, and I'm just layering things in this 2-inch margin to create a margin full of everything that represents what I feel like this devotional is speaking to me. The quote in here that is by Lee Roberson that Judy adds in this devotional says, "Faith in God has not saved people from hardships and trials, but it has enabled them to bear tribulations courageously and to emerge victoriously." So in my prayer here, I do tell God to allow me to draw strength like David did from past ways that he has shown up in my life. And Goliath can represent in your life a strong season, a hard season. It could be a sickness. It could be a person that's coming up against you. Goliath represents many things. So what you will see me use as well is from one of the stamp sets, I grab a stamp that is actually a date stamp. And I like to document these things in my Bible and place date stamps because I can go back and see how God has shown up or what God has done. So that was very purposeful for me adding that date stamp at the bottom of my page. I love that Lori added that to the kit. So staying true to what I'm talking about, I am going to add my date stamp. And I encourage you to also stamp out your date, record these seasons in your lives, in your Bible, because that is what we can gain strength from. At the top, I'm going to use this sticker that comes in the clear stickers in the kit. It says, remember me. And it's God basically speaking to me and saying, remember me, remember who I am and how I've shown up in your life. So that's why I added that up at the top. I am going to grab my mild liner as well, and I will be highlighting verses 46 and 47 in 2nd of Samuel chapter 17, where God is saying, or David is saying about God, for the battle is the Lord's and he will give you into our hand. And he's speaking directly into Goliath here. And I encourage you also to speak to your Goliath. Tell Goliath how big your God is. I'm going to add a tab up at the top with my Tim Holtz staple, and that is it. That wraps up my page. That is it, darlings. It was a super quick page, but I definitely wanted to record day 7 in here. And so what I did was I used a little clip, as I told you guys, to kind of put my journaling back there, but I did want to keep this card in here. And it creates also a beautiful little cluster. So thank you so much for joining me during this process. I hope it inspired you in some way. So let me know below if you are documenting as well in your Bible to remember the faithfulness of God. And let me know what you think below. So if you are new here, I hope you consider subscribing. Hit the like button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Thank you so much for joining me each and every videos here on my channel, darlings. God bless. Bye.